this is our legal disclaimer. Please note that we are not medical professionals or licensed psychologists/therapists. Thoughts, opinions, and comments made within each episode are solely our own. If you require serious medical or psychological help, please consult a professional, as we are just two girlies trying to support the sisterhood of the shit show of what it could be to be a Punjabi girl. Welcome everyone to the season 2, episode 2 of the podcast. This is for me, girl Sath, with Tarn and
Rampy. Hey guys.
It's been a while.
Yes.
How long has it been? A month?
I think it's 3 weeks, but it could be a month.
It feels longer. It feels very much of a longer period of time. We do apologize. We really do apologize. But hey guys, life gets busy sometimes, all right? The summer is here, and it's a particular season in the summer, which is wedding season. So, which is our part 2 of today is a part 2 of wedding season talk. So that's another reason why we're like, hey, might as well talk about it, because clearly
we're dealing with it.
We're dealing with it, right? I think it's just not weddings though, if you think about it. Like, it's just summer where you want to do so much, right? Like, patio season's open, there's so many things in downtown, right? Concerts, whatever it is, like, it's time to, like, if you have like friends or family who are far away, kids are off, right? Like, it's just a time of the year where everyone can kind of take a break and get to see one another.
But that doesn't happen, I find, to that extent, because we think in the beginning, oh, we're going to do so much and we'll have all this time. But then now we're looking at our calendars and we're like, there goes the summer.
I feel like I'm going to drown.
Yeah,
I'm going to drown.
Yeah.
Especially this month. I constantly, for this month, have been saying, like, this month is so bad for me, just with like work and like certain things I have to do for work, and
other commitments,
weddings, all of this. I'm just a 5'2" girly
who got to manage a lot of other things. Yeah. I think that's why energy drinks were made.
Yeah, so I don't condone drinking those. I have a coworker who like drinks like one a day, and I'm like, dude, do you know you can like die from these? There's so many scientific like studies on this.
Do you believe he believes he needs it to like function?
He's just one of those, those people who's like, oh, I'm just gonna drink a Monster, like a Monster drink. It's just one of those. But he's like, yeah, I went to the gym, I did this, and I'm like, just
but okay. He's probably immune to it now though, because when you first start having something and it's never been in your system, versus like when you had it consistently. For me, especially like example for coffee, when I first drink it and I haven't had it after like a while, I get the effect, right, of like waking up. But if I've had it consistently like every day for like a while, it just doesn't do the same anymore. It like my body gets used to it. Let's say.
Yeah, I think that's with anything though, right? Like, I've heard people say even about like shampoo, right? That if you use the same shampoo and conditioner over and over again, your hair gets used to it. Yep. And it's not giving the effects of whatever that shampoo says it's going to, right? So
you need to switch it up. Same thing with your skincare.
You gotta switch it up, yeah.
According to the season as well.
I try to do all of that.
It's on top of everything else we've got to keep track of.
Keep track of your hair, your skin, your nails. Keep track of everything.
Your social calendar.
It's a lot.
You gotta change your bed sheets.
Yes, I did that this week. This is adulting. Try to be in bed by 10. Yeah.
Okay. Gotta change out your what's it called? Your summer wardrobe with your winter wardrobe.
There's no fucking that shit like that happening in Canada, right?
I do.
I fucking have all my sweaters out.
No.
I don't even have a summer wardrobe.
I do. I have summer clothes. I gotta switch them out. Because my closets are all full of this. Or right now, they're being stuffed with all the suits.
Yeah, I am. Because I worked from home for about 3 years, I didn't have a summer wardrobe. I just literally wore sweats and hoodies and stuff.
And now,
summer? Girl, I was at home.
But you were going out with friends and shit.
I had just like those 2 outfits. Repeats, probably. Now I'm realizing, like, yeah, I go to the office 4 days a week at least. So I need to change it up. So I'm really gearing towards getting some summer stuff, getting some dresses, some skirts, whatever, right? Comfy things. So yeah, I've been on the lookout. But anywho, yes, back to today's episode, and the topic of it is wedding season, and we did a part 1 of this in our first season. So now we are gearing towards a part 2.
I was going to add a note though. I was doing research, and there's actually a couple, I think they're in India, their whole podcast is wedding theme structured. So every episode is something different about weddings. So although we're just doing two parts of it for now, people actually can make a podcast just around weddings.
What's the name of this podcast?
It's called the Indian Wedding Podcast.
I thought it was like some next extravagant name.
No. But
hey,
they like talk
them.
about wedding planner, this, that, whatever. Like they break it up, right? And obviously they put in a lot more intricate stuff because it is more based in India. So they have like rituals, customs, and etc. But I was like, damn, that's a good idea. So just putting it out there.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. But yeah, today we're going to be going over certain things that we didn't last time, right? So things you shouldn't leave to the last minute, things you could possibly do closer to the event, certain just things that we think are good for anyone who is planning a wedding or someone who is helping to plan a wedding, or even, you know, if you're just interested, like, hey, I'm hoping to get married at some point, you know, we all have those, right? Some people have their Pinterest boards all ready for that day, which is totally okay, girly.
But it goes out the window when your day comes. I'm gonna tell you that much. You will spend hours creating, looking at suit colors, looking at the different styles, looking at your wedding outfit. When you get to your freaking wedding, I can tell you, majority of us, we don't get that. It's just, okay, let's get it done. If you are able to recreate that, beautiful. Very happy you're able to do that. Otherwise, it just goes over your head. And we were talking about wedding blues.
Yes, that's definitely something that Rampy can, you know, really attest to and empathize to way more than me, because girly over here ain't married. So yeah, but yeah, so I'll start off with some things that I feel like you shouldn't leave to the last minute. Okay, so don't leave your vendors, like booking your vendors to the last minute. I think this is very big on the list because vendors are a huge part of wedding planning, right? And when I say vendors, I mean like your banquet hall, your gurdwara, your decor, your makeup and hair artist, right?
Videographer,
DJ, all of that, because this, like the wedding season, not that they don't make money throughout the year for other events, but the wedding season is where they make the bulk of their money, right? And like from what it seems like, right? They spend so many hours in the summer for so many different weddings,
yes,
right? Because that's the time when everybody here gets married.
Yes.
So if you're going to leave that to the last minute and you can't find anyone, that is really not ideal, right, for your planning. So absolutely try to book those things in advance, right? Like, let's say next month your whole wedding is like officialized in a sense that like you're rolled, right? Like families have to sit down and you're like, all right, our kids are getting married. Let's start looking at stuff. We're ideally looking at like a year from now for the date, right? Get your gurdwara out of the way, right? Get your your reception hall, whatever halls that you're planning to do, all right, all of that out of the way. Maybe even if you if you need to get your tent person too, who knows? Those, right? Things like that. Think about the big vendors at least. The big main vendors are definitely, they should be checked off your list early, just because those are the ones that everybody's thinking about, right? So if you don't get to it and there's someone you really wanted, if you're okay with choosing somebody else, that's great, right? And you get them. But like, there's a lot of people out there who have their heart set on like certain things. So don't put yourself in the position where you feel, oh my God, I really was always hoping to have this banquet hall, or I always wanted to get married at this gurdwara, and you waited till the last minute.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna be available. Like the minute you find out, you start looking, you start going to them, you start checking out which one's available, and it depends on you. Like, what's more important to you? Is the gurdwara of your choice or the banquet hall of your choice? End of the day, if you can't be, I don't think you should be picky. I think it's more or less like, okay, what's available, what works for our dates, and go from there. Because people just go in and party anyways. No one's staring at the banquet hall going, oh.
Yeah, and also think about your budget.
True.
Think about your budget. You might think, hey, I want to do this particular gurdwara, but they're going to charge me 5 to 10K depending on how many people I'm having, right? If that is not something in your budget,
don't
do it. In some people's budget, it's not into other people's, right? Don't do it. Don't do it then, right? Like, does it really matter then to do it at that particular location?
And yes, for those who do not know, and I can attest that I personally know people who do not know, the gurdwaras do charge you for weddings.
They do. They do. They do. Dixie Gurdwara during COVID was charging $800 only.
Oh.
It was so cheap. If I could have gotten married in COVID, girly,
you would have loved it.
So much in the bank.
You would have had nobody. Less people, just us, done deal.
It would have been beautiful. But hey, you know what? Some people, the prices vary, right? Certain Gurdwaras prices vary. And then, you know what? If you're planning to do the ceremony at your home, like that type of location where it's not at the Gurdwara, where you bring everybody over, then think about the cost of that too, right? And how you want to navigate that, because that's a really big task you're taking on. So that, even though it's not a vendor, it's still, you're becoming a vendor in sorts of ways, I guess, right? So that's number one. Don't leave your vendors till last minute, guys. It's not going to work out long term. It's just going to stress you out. Number two, don't leave your clothing till last minute, okay? Especially if you're the main families, the bride and the groom, right? You guys probably are color coordinated. You have certain things, like whatever the case is. It's just a big stressor, right? Because first of all, a lot of us just get them made from India and they get shipped here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you're hoping they fit, okay? The color's correct. All of this is correct. And then you never know what happens when it comes here. It might be too tight. It might be too loose. You need to do alterations, so you need time for that. You need time for all of that, right? And so if you're just a guest, then of course, don't stress about that. But if it's your, let's say for my brother's wedding, right? We tried to have all of our outfits here. I think we had them for late May to early June. We had them for at least a month, I would say. We had them in advance, right? Which helped because, for example, I remember one of the zippers for one of my lehenga blouses was just really sticky for no reason. So I got that fixed, right? So that's the thing. You need to try them on, see, is your vision there? If you got them custom made, right? You can get your vision. Not that hard.
Yeah, if you're just getting whatever's already, then you still gotta work on getting that fixed as well.
And if you're getting all sorts of other family members' clothing, right, at the same time as yours, that responsibility is big too, because they're gonna be like, tu menu liya ke deta, right? So make sure you get that in advance. They try it. There's no issues there. There's a lot of people you have to think about if you're doing that, right? So that's why I would say don't leave clothing to last minute if you're from one of those groups of people. It's just again, we're just trying to tell you what things you should not leave to last minute to reduce certain stress levels. You're gonna be stressed, okay, but there's certain things you should not be stressed about. So that's number two. Number three, don't leave invites to the last minute, because I'll tell you why. Because some people will give you an invite 3 weeks before their wedding
and expect you to show up.
Think about the guest that you're inviting. Who knows what their schedule looks like?
If they have kids, there's other things going on. They could have other family weddings going on.
Maybe getting time off is hard. Whatever.
Maybe they got a vacation booked at that time too.
Exactly. So one, you're gonna be,
mad,
little pissed that you're like, I invited you, you didn't come. And the guest is going to be like, well, this is a pity invite. You're filling up seats. And I've had this happen to me personally where I felt like, hey, why did we get an invite a month before the wedding when we're family? Does it make sense? No. And it's like, we all have our stuff, right? So especially when you're from, within your families, right? For example, we have certain cousins that we know are getting married. We know they're getting married.
We got invites 5-6 months in advance. If not, we've been given save the dates before.
Yeah, or we find out hey, right? Okay, you'll know sooner or later. So one of our cousins, I think it's next weekend, it's her wedding card distribution, right? And it's a few months before, but we still knew.
I knew about it since last year.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's not it's not an unknown. Yeah. That we didn't know, right? So if you're keeping people in the loop but you're giving the card late, that's different, right? Yeah. But if you're totally just oh yeah, I'm getting married here, I don't think that's
no, that's not proper etiquette, and don't expect them to show up.
Yeah. Or it's way different if you really had a last minute wedding. That's then listen, everything's off the table. You it's just what you have to do, right? But you have to also reap the consequences, knowing that some people may not be able to come if it's last minute.
But people talk, so you think that you might be sly and you're handing out cards late to some people and early to some people. People talk to each other. They didn't find out what's going on, so
everyone loves to talk in the community.
Oh yes.
So is
somehow big. Everyone knows each other.
Facts. So that's number 3, okay? Don't leave your invites to the last minute, depending on your situation, right? All right, there's a few things that I think that, you can do closer to the event, all right? Like food. Food arrangements can be made closer to the event because one, all these restaurants, I don't think they're going to keep track of the fact that you tried to book them a year in advance, okay? They are a very fast-paced industry. If you go to like these restaurants, you can even ask them 2 weeks to 3 weeks, maximum even like a month before, and you can set up your food.
Because they've been used to it. They know this time the season's coming up. They know the ones that know are part of it and popular, they are very fully aware. So yeah, that totally makes sense. That's
You can do it like you can put it like a month to 3 weeks before your dates to be like, hey, we want to set up a food truck or whatever the case is. Like it's very manageable.
Yeah.
That's a very, and it's not one of those where it gets booked and you can't use it. They will take on multiple events on the same day. So it's a more easier vendor, I guess. This one vendor you can do closer to, right? The second one that you can do closer to the event is alcohol.
Oh yeah, that's on you.
That's on you, right? Apne like to get liquor licenses for the halls and just, get the alcohol because it's cheaper, right? When you're booking halls and stuff. So you can get that closer too.
And you can also return it if you have excess.
Exactly.
If it's not opened.
Exactly. So if you're gonna bring it hella in advance, there's a possibility y'all can drink it all. So maybe get that closer too.
Yes. And I sound really stupid saying that now. That who would have unopened alcohol that they would be returning? But it's happened to us. So that's what I'm saying.
So this is something that I would recommend doing closer to. Something to do on time, guys. Get your marriage license on time. Don't be that individual who forgot that they need to give a marriage license to the Gurdwara to sign off on. And right? Thodiyan lama dekharnu.
Well, no, you can still get married. Hold on. You could still technically do a religious ceremony and depending on the Gurdwara, not have to give it. But some of them, they require it.
Some are very strict.
Yeah, so you have to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Because some of them, you can do that. It's counted as a religious ceremony anyways, and you can get it signed afterwards if you do another, but you have to do like a court situation then. Yeah. You can't just, here you signed and it's done.
Quite honestly, it's way easier from my understanding of what I've seen is go get the certificate from your city, right? You have like a good 60 to 30 days leeway from then to do like your whole, or 90 days. You get like a good fair amount of time to like get that
3
signed.
months. Yeah, they give you 3 months from the day you got it.
So like accordingly, get that done and then submit it.
And you don't need to go together. You can one person can go as a representative.
If you guys want to go together, make it a cute date. That's on you.
Sure, but who got time?
But that is true. But just make sure you have your names and stuff spelled correctly and all of that.
The IDs.
But yeah, just make sure you do that in a timely manner, right? Another thing that's becoming very big as of more recent due to the whole changes is Gurdwara rules, right? With the whole Lenga situation, there's certain Gurdwaras who don't allow brides to wear lengas, or they have certain criterias like not like low cuts and all of that. So be mindful of that. Don't book something and not ask these questions and then you're crying about it after that. Hey, I didn't know, right? So try to, if you really want to wear one, then make sure the Gurdwara, like the vendor you booked, works with your vision, right, of that.
So not my issue, but my inquiry with that is that when they said all that and announced it last year, I believe, now is when our official wedding season is hitting in, right? Which is fine. But we've inquired for different things because my brother's getting married and then my cousin's also getting married. So like we've inquired and they haven't said anything. They haven't said they can't wear lengas. And then even the restrictions, they're like you obviously whatever cover don't whatever. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. So I think this wedding season we'll see.
And the thing is, it's like it's the Gurdwara associations in India who have placed this. Here people work differently, right? You can't. It's like the whole thing about not doing weddings, like destination weddings.
They're happening
because of like, this sounds really weird. Je paise honge, they don't care.
Because there are bubbly in Mexico who just get paid to do this.
Exactly.
And they don't have anything
Where's
else.
Where's their income coming from? Right? They need to run their organization, right? Their religious organization.
But they could technically, if they wanted to, get like make a sacred space where no one's around or whatever to protect that, because that's the whole situation is that you're here getting married and there's people dancing around and who knows who's smoking, drinking nearby. Yeah. But if you could potentially create a space where you can consider that it's, you know, private property or something, then I wouldn't see an issue with that, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, so those are mainly some things that I thought would be really important to mention for today. And then I was also thinking at the end of it when I was making all these notes, like how crazy it is to think that, you know, we were all kids at one point, you know, like growing up, all of us cousins, and just enjoying different family events. And now everyone is just going through different phases in their lives. It's not even just your family and your cousins, it's your friends and your coworkers and people around you, your acquaintances. One minute somebody is, you know, just dating someone. Next minute they're roped. Next minute they're getting married,
walking down the aisle,
and next minute they're having kids. And that's just life, right? Like everybody goes through different phases. And I think when your first couple of cousins go through it, it's still something very new, and you're like, oh wow. But then everybody starts going through it, so then you get accustomed to it. You're like, all right,
we're accustomed to it. You're like, we're just waiting for the lines now.
we're literally like, it's pretty much in our family. It's like, who's next?
That's what I'm just like, okay, gotta get through this season. I'm at the point where I'm like, gotta just get through it. Because when you have one wedding in a month, it's not disturbing the 1 week. Your whole month is fucked, to be honest.
You have to coordinate your whole month.
You're stressed. You're thinking, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that, right? Because you're part of
your hair for it.
Jesus Christ.
Hair schedule.
Okay, we'll get there. I have a list that I'm going to ask you. We will get there. Okay?
All right. You go ahead.
Get ready for that. So, the other portion I'm getting to is, so next year I'm like, okay, so we have this, and then I have a potential list. I'm like, oh, potential weddings, which could happen, right? And I went to my husband. I'm like, hey, he's like, listen, if any more weddings show up, he's like, I'm moving. He's like, I'm leaving, I'm moving, I'm done with this. He's like, your family, there's too much. I'm like, but that's why I want to be here. Because they're too much.
We just have a really big family. What do you want us to do?
And it's crazy how all of us are all in the same age group and we're all like going through. No, we're in little bit different age groups actually. But the ones getting married now, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start into a different. You're done with your portion.
Yes, I am done.
So I'm going to start into a different variation of it, which is to be prepared for some other elements that are going to happen during your wedding time. So, there will be some sort of family member who will have the meltdown because something did not go their way. It could be on either side. More or less it's going to be a female member. But there will be a meltdown, a couple of them, if not happening during your wedding time. It's normal.
Could be stress-induced.
Could be. And then there's always that other family member who probably has not even been involved in the planning or even helping out. They just came in because they want to enjoy, right? They flew in from somewhere or they're traveling or whatever, or they even live around. And they're going to cause a stink because something didn't go their way. Normal. Very, very normal.
Unexpected.
It happens every wedding. Okay? And then there's uninvited guests. This happens all the fucking time. You will see people show up and you're like, huh? Where are you coming from? And it'll be from your side, not even like the other side. Your own side. You're like, who's this? When did I invite you?
Okay, I've been guilty of this.
Okay, well, there you go. Prime example.
So, not a few, very, very long time ago. I used to think university was like, you know, dog sort of kid. No, not really. It's been a while. So there's this one year in the summer. I believe I was midway through my degree, and me and my friends were like, yo, we should go crash a hall party.
Okay, wait, did you just choose a random one?
We just chose a random hall party.
Wait, so you went home, you got ready?
Yeah. We chose a random hall. I kind of think I know which hall it was, like kind of not really sure, but we went to like a random hall, all right, and we just walked in and we started freaking dancing.
Did you eat?
No, we didn't eat. We didn't do that.
Okay, good.
Okay, we danced, stayed for maybe an hour max, and then we went to McDonald's after. We didn't eat the food. We didn't even sit at the table. We just danced.
Was this a reception party?
I think it was a reception.
Oh my god, that's too funny. Okay, but okay,
this is like
your part
really,
though,
really early 20s. Like, it literally was a 20-year-old.
To that, you didn't eat, so that's why I think it's okay because the eating is the problem.
yeah, but that was my little tidbit there.
Yeah. I've had it at one of my events, and the person walks in front of me, and he's like, "I'm not supposed to be here," and I'm like, "Why would you say that?"
Which event was it?
My Jago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And if someone's listening who knows this person because they were with that person, you know who I'm talking about. But anyways, he walks in front of me. He's like, "Yeah, nice to
Oh,
be here."
wait. I think I know who this person
Yeah, okay,
is.
so don't say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense though. I know who it is now.
I'm like, why would you do that? Anyways, that was really funny. I just looked at him and I laughed. I was like,
Or
whatever.
this person shows up to all the events, but only like 2 people in the family talk to this person, maybe.
No, he's not family.
No, 2 people in the family talk to him.
Yeah,
He's not family. He's
no,
like
something else.
Someone's friend.
Something like that. Yes,
Gandhi.
You know who it is.
I know who it is.
We connected the dots. All right. So the next thing is, as much as we want our beautiful events to start on time, they never fucking start on time.
Indian
so you
Standard Time.
You can put whatever timing you want there. People will show when people want to show. And here, weekdays, the issue is like people usually finish work around 5, right? 4 or 5. And then to go anywhere around here takes a fucking hour. And then you gotta get ready. So if you're looking at a timing of like 7 o'clock before people show up so you can start your event. So good luck. And the other one, we spoke about tents earlier, so weather is a factor. Even if you want to put a tent outside, it's not necessarily going to be the best idea for some of your events. That's what's happening to us right now. So I'm helping out with one of my cousin's weddings, and we ideally would like to put a tent. We don't know if it's going to rain. So even if we put a tent, it may still rain, and then we need a backup plan. So we're just going by ear.
That is true.
And we're praying it doesn't. Because even if, let's say, we're covering and we're not going to get the rain, if it's all the grass is already wet, we're fucked. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know which day in my brother's wedding week, we just woke up and half the tent was off. Because it rained or windy and they had to come and fix it. But yeah. The weather is unpredictable, so there's certain things where you definitely will have to just keep that into account.
So these were just a couple of things that were kind of brought up recently because I'm going through the freshness of the wedding planning and you kind of think of these kind of things again, and we just learn about it. So all you can do is just honestly keep a good positive spirit, just keep going, enjoy yourself, and that's it. Don't really worry about this. This kind of stuff happens. Don't let it get to you. So here are my questions for you. At this point of our wedding season start, have you gotten all your outfits sorted out and jewelry ready for the next wedding coming up? Not the rest of them. I'm about to do that, hence I'm asking. It's in my mind.
It's on your mind.
Yeah.
So I have some things that, that when we went to Jagjeet Textile, so I'm gonna probably pick them up in a few days to a week. So I have some things being stitched. Like I have certain outfits that I just need like additional like stitching for certain, like so I have this like lehenga, right, that I had made for my brother's reception, and it's a beautiful burnt orange color and super heavy. But can I wear that to somebody else's reception? No,
probably not.
It's not ideal, right? Unless it's like one of my like really like close cousins, right? So I got like Kapra to get like long like Banasari style pants made to wear with the lehenga blouse, right? So something like that, like I have being made right now. So I do have all the outfits already in my mind of what I want to wear. Jewelry, to be quite honest, is not something a stressor for me. I'm just gonna whatever I have, pick it out. I have lots of jewelry and then just go from there. My concern is my hair. Because
I was gonna get there. Are all of your hair looks and makeup looks sorted?
So makeup, not a problem.
You're good.
It's more of hair for me because I have 2 weddings that are intertwined with one another, and then I have like a personal event at the end of these 2 weddings finishing. Jeez. So I'm trying to navigate. I really don't care about my hair that much for the weddings. I care about for the personal event I have, to be quite honest. So I'm trying to like navigate. I don't want to be washing my hair like every other day. I don't got time for that. So I'm trying to navigate that. But I think I'll sort it out. But what about you?
My outfits will be sorted today. I have some that were being made, so they'll be done. And I have others I have to go through my beautiful suitcases and just kind of line them up and start ironing them. Because as of next week, things start. And if I leave it to next week, I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm trying to get through that. Jewelry, yes, I went through it. And I'm missing bangles. So I'm going to get time to buy some bangles. So that's where we're at.
Do it up.
Meh. Hair, yeah. We're good to go. I don't really care. Have you, by chance, ordered any new makeup for this wedding season? I was gonna say holiday season.
Makeup? No, I didn't order anything in particular for the wedding season. The only thing I could think of that I would possibly need is lashes, but I still have a good chunk.
Mm-hmm.
If that's probably the only thing I think of, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, do I need new lashes? Because, you know, I sometimes like when I go to events, I don't really want to rewear.
Yes.
Because sometimes I'm really messy with like the glue.
You don't like take it off properly afterwards
Oh
for
hell no!
maintenance?
You think you got time for that? No, hell no.
I thought you would have time.
I do not have time for
You're
that.
a lot more.
I'll have time for my skincare, but not to do that.
Yeah. All right. So, have you tossed out any of your old outfits to make room for your new?
No,
I have.
I got two new, like, they're very simple
Mm-hmm.
suits that that were brought from India for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like super simple because I always, anytime I get outfits is for weddings. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
मेरे को like गुरुद्वारे
Nothing
को
to
like कुछ
wear.
है नहीं, right?
Yeah.
So I asked for two simple ones. So they're literally just on top of my shelf because I have a smaller closet, right? So I'm just trying to navigate the best I can for now until I need to figure out my whole storage situation. So I'm just gonna deal for now. I'm not trying to indulge.
Are these new suits floral print by chance?
One's kind of florally. Well, the kameez is, right?
Yeah.
But the other one's just like this, like a really nice, like light blue. It's just nice. Like I feel like the blue one for sure. I would love to wear it to the Gurdwara, like for a wedding this year. I think if I could make it work, I would definitely wear it. I have to still try them on, which I haven't. I've been so lazy, I haven't tried them on, but I will.
Do it. Do it.
I know you've thrown a bunch of
A whole bag. I had to. I kept the tunis, but I tossed the suits. I'm like, all right, my friend, time for you to go. I still kept stuff for my wedding, but other than that, I've been just throwing things out. I have too much. I wish I could wear them more often, but yeah. Have you started your face prep?
My face is always prepped. I don't know what you're talking about there. Okay, just kidding. Just kidding. That sounded hella conceited. Well, yeah, like I take care of my skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Twice a day, nighttime, daytime. On top of that stuff. But I would ideally like to just get a facial. Just because I haven't had one in a while. Last time I had one was last year. For my birthday, and I've been saying like, hey, I want to go get a facial, but I don't think I'll have time until next month, to be quite honest. I'm planning to do that next month. I don't have time this month. I genuinely don't. Like, it's even like work. There's certain trainings I have to do, right? Like I'm in training next week mainly. I'm going away for training early July. So 2 weeks training there. And I'm possibly signing up for a training in September, October. But that's it. I'm done with training for the rest of the year.
Yeah. But yeah, you're signing up in September.
That's just, my goals that I had set in place, that are aligning as I wanted it to, which is beautiful. So yeah, yeah. So when I say like everything's just kind of piling up, it's work, the work trainings, my personal life, weddings, and family stuff, and it's just, you gotta take it day by day. It's a go world.
It's not gonna end now. It's gonna get crazier and crazier. Summer poop.
This is why self-care is very important, guys. Take some time for yourself. Like, if that's like going to the gym, if that's like journaling, whatever it is, do something for yourself.
Which is what I learned the hard way this week after going just go mode for the last couple of,
yes,
I don't know how long.
Rampy went through a burnout.
Yeah.
And I told her, you is going through a burnout.
Hence my question was going to be, have you had a meltdown yet? I was going to say, yes, I have.
You have?
I have had my meltdown
quite
moment.
Honestly, I don't think so, have I?
Recently? No.
No, right?
I think that was you like last year.
Maybe last year. Not yet.
During your brother's wedding, yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't had one because, again, I don't have like family member wedding. So I completely empathize with you. It gets a lot. But for right now, no. It's more of like going with the flow, making sure I'm having time for myself. And I've been learning to slow down. Like, for example, I had a really bad habit of binging TV shows, right? With COVID and nothing else to do, binging them, and then you're not really enjoying them. I noticed, I'm like, okay, I watched it, but did I really like it like that? I was just like, okay, let's finish it. When's the next, like, okay, I'm on episode 8, there's 10 episodes, I need to finish this. Like, it was kind of like a go. And I that was very unhealthy. So I've been trying to enjoy the things around more, right? Like, for example, waking up a little bit more earlier than I normally do to go to the gym. So I don't feel rushed, right?
Yeah.
So I have time when I come home to get ready. Slowly, like, whatever. Do, like, and it feels a lot more better, right, for me. And then even again, like the whole thing about, TV shows, like I've been watching some different ones, but I'm slowly watching them. I'm not binge watching them, and I'm just taking it one episode at a time, trying to do all other things and just enjoying it more. Why? Where? Right?
To be fair, what race are we really running? You're right. That's what I need to learn a little bit more to do. We'll see. All right. So I think I'll do one more question because I'm just a little. Have you booked your days off for work, and do your coworkers know of your schedule?
I have not booked off time for the weddings this month, just because the way I'm trying to go to the events, there's no point. Some are on the weekends or some are after work hours. I'm very fortunate enough to have flexibility with my schedule. So if I know in advance, please tell me always in advance, guys. At least a month.
She'll manage.
Right? Yeah. Then I can manage, because then I can cut off my day at a certain time. If I need to start early, I can start earlier. Like, I can manage that way. I have that flexibility with my schedule, because I create my schedule. Right? I create my own schedule with my job. So knowing that these weddings were happening, I did, to the best of my ability,
align yourself.
Try to align it. Like, let's say, okay, we have a joggo this night. Do not book early morning, Tarn. Are you going to hate yourself the next morning saying, hey, why the hell do I have, like, this thing happening at 9 o'clock in the morning? When maybe I can still go to work on time, but just relax in my office. Not have to, like, socialize and be present in my professional. Yeah, so I try to navigate that for certain things. So yeah, I have not taken any time off, but do my coworkers know that my summer is going to be
busy?
Yes. They know. They know. Just because I've been like, May is such a really busy month for me. I've been saying it because for me, the more days I lose in training or other things, it piles up my work. Just to kind of say it, and that's the best that I can describe my job. So the more days I lose in a month impacts what my other days look like. So like having a long weekend and then having trainings and then have my work from homes, like it all just trickles down to like you have less time in the month to do all the things you usually have in a full month to do. So you're packing up days, right? So, but it's okay. You have those months. You have those months.
Yeah, you have those time periods.
Yeah.
Happen.
But what about you?
Yes, I have my days off, and people know that there's weddings coming up. And that's what I said. I'm like, one of them in like 2 weeks, they're like, oh yeah, we have to go to one of the branches and you need to go Thursday, Friday. I'm like, nope, I got weddings. And then my boss looks at me, she's like, did you take off time for that? I'm like, yes, I did. I'm like, I was ready before, my friend, don't start. And then that Thursday, I was going to work from home because they have like an event going on. So I was going to like be home for that. And now I have to be available to help out. And I was like, oh, that's life.
Struggles of corporate.
Yes. So that was my question series for you. Now I'm going to move on to wedding blues. And that is when you go into it and you're like the groom, the bride, etc. You're super pumped, super excited. All the people have come, they're celebrating you, they're with you for the week. And it's just like you're very on a high because you're starting this new chapter and etc. etc. But once everybody goes away and whatever, you'll be like quite excited because it's a new change initially, and then after a bit you're like, oh, because you're not gonna get that again. There's no, unless you get married again, but hey, well, to each their own. You don't get that again, and it's like, oh, and you're like, so that's why make the most of it. Like, enjoy your time, right? Do what you can to just see this person, see that person, enjoy with everybody, and make sure you're taking care of yourself, because there was moments I was taking care of stupid stuff when I should have been just having fun, but didn't enjoy it. Like, it's a bit, not much though. Overall, I enjoyed a lot, and a lot of people came, and it was a lot of fun. But literally, enjoy the moments.
Yeah, I definitely think when not a lot of us have that personality where you know, we make everything about themselves, right? Like, I find, like, my personality is very, like, you know, I get very appreciative of moments, and I get very nostalgic, and some people don't understand my personality, but for me, it's like, there's a lot of things growing up till now where, you know what, for some people, it's not a big deal. For me, it's like, it is. It is a big deal. You know, for whatever it is, like, you know, like, let's say when I get married, that's a big deal for me.
Of course.
Right? It's a once in a lifetime moment, that, you know, everyone's getting together to celebrate
you guys,
celebrate me and my future partner, right? That, you know, you're celebrating this, like, new journey, this new future, whatever it is, right? Like, or
the next
for example, like, for example, like, you whatever milestone, right? For me, I'm always very grateful and appreciative of milestones that I've had, just because my life could have been very different, is what I guess I could put it as, right? There's a lot of growth and healing and strength that I had to get through, for my journey, right, on this world so far. And so for me, it's just like, you know what, like, wow, like, look at this. Like, I really do take that in all the time. Like, even for example, for my brother's wedding, when we had his jersey party, which was like the, you know, to start off the week, I got into a little moment where I'm just there and I'm like looking at how happy everybody is, like, in the family, and just, it was just so nice, and I was pretty much at tears. Like, I was crying a little. I'm not trying to show anyone, because, like, there's a lot of you know, there's a lot that, like, we've dealt with in the back end as a family. Not everybody knows of all of it, but to have moments like that is a blessing. So some people don't see it that way, but I personally do. I really do take the little things to heart, that happen around us, right? That appreciate those little things, appreciate those little moments and the big moments. So take that in, look at that, right? Like, wow, this is your thing, right? And for some people, it's like, oh my God, I'm done, I'm married, whatever, I'm done. No, I feel like if it was my turn, I would definitely have a lot of moments like that, where I would just sit and just take it in, and be like, wow. Because I think the way I grew up and the way I've thought a lot is, there's certain things I thought would never happen in my life. So to see in my family, and to see those things is a really true blessing, is how I put it as, right? So yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Take those things in, right? Because if you're just going to be on the go, again, slow down and enjoy.
Yes.
Right? I know it's hard in the moment. You're like, oh my God, did my song play? Does the DJ have this? Like, did you give out the whatever, right?
It's okay.
It's okay. It's
Things
your
will
day.
be
Just
fine.
enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Because again, you're going to look back when you're looking at the videos and the pictures, and you're like, oh my God, I was so stressed. You're going to think about this. Like, you're going to be stressed, but hey, like, freaking have fun. It's your day. It's your wedding.
True.
But yeah, anything else you wanted to talk about today?
No, I think
covered.
That's good enough.
I think we covered a lot today.
If I keep talking, I'm gonna get anxiety again.
Yeah, this is a little touchy topic for now. Once we pass wedding season, we can go on again. But it's just around the corner, so it's stressful, right? So, but yeah, I will just like to end off by saying, take care of yourselves, guys, this wedding season. Including you, Rampy. It's easy to just forget about that, but you have to take care of yourself and make sure you're also someone that matters in this whole process, if you're taking a lot of responsibilities on or whatever the case is. And enjoy. It's the summer too, right? It's not just wedding season, it's the summer, it's your life, all right? Take some time for yourself too. And we hope to catch you guys soon. If we have a little bit of a delay again in releasing another episode, we do apologize. Again, it's just that time of the year. We're trying to incorporate everything into our lives, but also make sure we're not low-key dying.
But I think it's a good go of the flow, though, because in this retrospect, too, we're also trying to do what we can for this, to record it when we can, but also respecting our own, like, lives at the same time.
Absolutely.
So that's what you gotta do. You just gotta find what works for you.
Find your medium, your balance, and go from there. Yes. But I think that's it for today.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Until next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.